We begin today with our sit-down interview with Claire Haidar, CEO of Wyndyr Pattyrn. First time to ICMA, welcome.
Hi Audrey, it's so good to be here today, thank you.
Of course, so you just wrapped up your keynote address, the title of which is "The Future of Work is Now, You Should Really Give a Damn." I absolutely love the title of this speech. Give us a little bit of information about what it was like for people who weren't able to attend.
So Audrey, I think what I tried to capture in this talk for the audience is that, you know, if you look at all of the issues bubbling to the top right now, defunding of the police, the big COVID pandemic, you know what I mean? There's like hundreds of like social justice issues. There's so many things right now. Those are all symptomatic of a really, really serious problem. And it's actually a very basic problem, which is we're living in a time deficit right now.
Such a great point.
You know, and I think the whole point that I wanted to really convey today to the audience was get back to the basics. If you're building a city, if you're a city planner, if you're a city manager, you need to understand what the core issues are that your people are living with before you start addressing these big issues.
Is it really that big of a problem though to get people to give a damn?
Yes, it really, really is, because we're living in an information age, and if you look at like the noise that's out there in media right now around any issue, not just the future of work, there's a lot of stuff that's being said, but it's not backed in data, it's not backed in science, and it's not factual. And so you have business leaders, you have city leaders making decisions based on popular opinion versus actual reality of what's happening. And that's why, you know, coming back to your first question, I really just wanted to like peel the onion back and get back to what is the core issue that cities are actually navigating right now, which interestingly, like I said to you, is a time deficit, and it's people's mental health.
You bring up a really good point. I mean, we are in the age of misinformation. If you are a city leader where you talk about, you know, bowing down to popular opinion, so obviously you do want to make those that you serve happy.
Yes.
But at the same time, like you said, we need to operate with facts and, you know, science-backed statistics. Yeah. How do you juggle that? How do you make both sides happy?
I think ultimately, and this is also one of the points that I made in the talk, which made me smile because it actually, you know, there was a bit of applause from the audience that came up, was just ruthlessly prioritize. Everything that people in cities are making a noise about is not actually worth making a noise about. And ultimately, if you look at what the main job of a city leader is, it's to lead. And to lead doesn't mean you get distracted with every distraction that somebody in the city is shouting about, you know. It's like you stay focused on that end goal.
That's a great point. You also say to visualize work as a playground. Yes. How do you visualize that, and then how do you implement policies?
So I'm so happy that you raised that, because the interesting thing about a playground is if you look at how a playground functions, okay, parents take their kids there. Kids engage with the toys, whether we want them to or not. You know what I mean? You as a parent or an aunt or whatever, when you're taking a kid to a playground, you don't need to take a kid to the fireman's pole and show him how to slide down it. You know what I mean? They figure it out. And so the big lesson for city management in that is, if you put a good system in place, people figure out how to use it well.
Great, you know what advice.
I mean? And that's ultimately, like, if you look at it through that leadership perspective, is you should be focused on the system design rather than the people playing on the system.
Very good advice. You also say work is chaotic, that is a good thing. For type A people though, who love a structure, love a routine, maybe like myself, how can we embrace the theory that work is chaotic and that's okay?
So I actually took it right back to the science of chaos theory. And if you look at what chaos theory teaches us, chaos is actually not chaos. It's actually a highly structured network. It's very, very, like, all the different nodes in the network are connected. And because one node is changing and evolving, it ripples across and the rest of the network feel the change. And so where we need to change our mindset around that chaos is we need to realize that it's not chaotic. We need to stop trying to change it. You know what I mean? It's what we're living in now is chaos, but it's not going to change. It's not going to go away. I know that's hard for type A people like you and me to hear, but ultimately it is the reality.
You also say that we should push the boundaries, challenge the status quo, things that a lot of people are very hesitant to do. How can we embrace that, and why should we?
So I think, you know, if you look at the questions that you've just asked me around chaos, if chaos is our new reality, if we're working in a time of time deficit, when people don't have enough time, then that is why. That is the why. You know what I mean? It's like, if in order to lead meaningful lives, in order to build meaningful cities, we have to go back to that root cause. And if you look at what people are focused on right now, it's symptomatic issues. It's not that core issue. And so that's my challenge, is we need to really ask ourselves what the issue is and challenge there. That's the nerve we need to be poking.
Okay, just get back to basics.
Basics.
All right, Claire Haidar, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been so good being with you, Autria.